are listening to the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, and life-giving relationships. Why focus on relationships? Because the quality of our intimate partnerships and close connections influences our health, happiness, and longevity more than anything else in our lives. Relationships matter a lot, so together, let's jump into the mud, aka our messy relationships, pull some weeds, plant some seeds, and create an enriching environment where strong relationships can take root. I am your grateful host, Dara Posner. I am a relational disaster working toward relational mastery. I am also a positive psychology coach, a relational mindset coach, a blogger, and now a podcaster. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Embrace the Mud podcast, where we discuss all things related to healthy, joyful, life-giving relationships. If you are a fan of this podcast, please subscribe, follow, like, review, and share. Your engagement in this way is crucial to the success of the podcast, and I appreciate you taking just a few seconds to support my mission, which is to help people like you flourish in life and love. Today on the Embrace the Mud podcast, we are still in our series, Essential Relationship Skills. And we're talking about the skills we need to develop in order to maximize emotional safety, connection, and fulfillment in our most precious relationships. Today, we're talking about the skill of attunement. Attunement is the ability to sense what your partner is feeling and to enter into their inner world and experience life in the moment through their eyes. Why is attunement an essential relationship skill, and how do you enhance your own capacity for it? This is our topic for today, so let's dive in. Today we're talking about what it looks like to be attuned to your partner. A magnificent skill to learn. It is just one of these superpowers that if you can master this skill in your relationship, it really does take everything to a whole other level. You guys, it's very, very powerful. And if this is not a skill that you have deliberately focused on developing, I hope you will after these next few minutes that we'll spend together talking about it. So what does it mean to be attuned to another person? So I'm going to give you three sort of characteristics that I have been able to notice are sort of essential pillars, if you will, of mastering attunement in your relationship. And the first one is basically just attention, right? Just attention, having enough presence to be attentive enough to what is happening with and for your partner. And I think where we limit ourselves sometimes is, we really focus on the intellectual plane. I want to see how you see things. I want to get how you view things. And that's great, right? If you're at a point in your relationship where you genuinely want to understand where your partner is coming from and you want to see how they see things, that's amazing. Attunement takes that even deeper. Attunement goes beyond the intellectual. Attunement means that you can sense and feel into your partner's emotional experience. This is about emotional connection. This is beyond just intellectual understanding. And that's what makes it so magical, because what do we all really want fundamentally more than anything from each other? We want to feel deeply understood, right? And so attunement delivers that beautiful gift of, I know that you understand me at a deep level, not just how I think and how I see things, but you get how I feel. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I want that. Do you want that? Do you want to gift that? Great. Then that's what we're talking about here today. So the first sort of pillar, if you will, is just that attention, that presence. You need to be present enough to be able to attune, to notice, oh, there's a shift here, maybe, right? You're just spending time with your love, you're, having a wonderful day together, and then all of a sudden, boom, the energy shifts. Something has changed. When that happens, we have multiple options, right? One is we can just kind of ignore it and go, I'm not going to pretend I didn't notice that and just, continue as we were and hope that, they'll just kind of deal with whatever that was that just happened for them and kind of come back to us, right? But attunement requires us to do the second thing, which is to get curious. And that curiosity will make us go, oh, what just happened there? And ask, hey, I noticed that the energy just shifted here. What's happening with you? What just happened for you, right? And then that opens the door to really be able to emotionally connect. You invite your partner, you've let them know you're open, right? So you have to be open. That curiosity, will enable you to, open yourself up to their reality, their experience in that moment. And then the next pillar is courage, right? Courage to enter into the inner world of that other person. And why is that courageous? For me, attunement requires bravery because a lot of times, what's happening for the other person can feel threatening to us, right? Like maybe we just said something totally, obviously not on purpose and it wasn't an intention, but now we've potentially caused pain to the other person. That's difficult, right? We have to be able to be there for that, show up for that in a non-defensive way and stay open to just understand what's going on there and how they're feeling in that moment, right? And to show deep care and love when they're struggling. And what enables us to be courageous, really courageous in these moments, is to first have a practice of self-attunement. When we are comfortable with our own inner world and emotionality, then we become capable of being able to enter into the emotional world of someone that we love. If we can't do it with ourselves, if we're afraid of our own feelings, if we're not brave enough to feel our own stuff and to engage with our own emotional material, we're not going to be able to do that for anybody else. So for the first step in becoming amazing at attunement is to practice self-attunement and to engage with your own inner world and to really open up to your own emotional experiences and to becoming curious about them and spending some time engaging with what's happening in your own inner landscape. And so attention is what it starts with, and that's easy. Attunement equals attention first, curiosity, right? Being willing to, rather than, I'm just going to ignore that. Want to know, be curious. Okay, what did just shift here? Ask the question. Let the person know you're open. You want to know. And it's not like what just happened? Something shifted, right? You're already threatened. You're already defensive. They're going to just be like, oh, nothing. No, I'm fine, right? They're not going to feel safe opening up to you. But loving curiosity, right? Compassionate curiosity, really wanting to know. And then having the courage to meet them there, to step in and to feel into that other person's experience, because it's more than just like, how are you seeing things? What's your view? It's what is this like for you right now on an emotional level? What is this like for you? And I promise you, if you're able to attune to your partner in this way, they're going to feel so loved and deeply cared for. And that's going to reap major rewards for you. And this is how we get to a place where we can mutually do this for each other. Is a byproduct of being able to do this for your partner is that sometimes if they're not really self-attuned, they don't have that practice, maybe they sort of avoid their own emotionality, you being by their side in these moments and wanting to understand them, help them understand themselves and develop that practice of what is going on for me, right? And now you're creating a container, a safe container for them to drop in to their own feelings and to explore them with you, right? Through your curiosity, they can get curious about what's going on for them and comfortable kind of going down deep into the realms of our emotions and, getting some clarity and building that comfort for what's going on internally. And oh gosh, it's just so beautiful. It kind of makes me emotional. So yes, before I start bawling my eyes out here, recap. Attunement is a superpower. It is more than just an essential relationship skill. It's a superpower. It's essential superpower for your relationships. And so, starting with just being attentive, paying attention, being compassionately curious about the inner world of your partner, and then having the courage that you develop through practicing self-attunement of, going inside their inner world and wanting to feel into what experiences are like for them beyond, what's happening in their mind, beyond the way that they think, but how they feel in these critical moments. And that is just, that's some secret sauce right there for building real connection and safety. Is through that attunement. So I encourage you to make it a priority in your own relationship. And let me know how it goes if you decide to intentionally practice attuning. And I love to hear from you guys. So if you're practicing any of these skills and you're having experiences or have any questions, I'm here. So please do reach out. I am going to be back really soon. I think we have one more essential relationship skills, and then we'll complete this series. But in the meantime, please remember, you are wired for love and connection. You are capable of love and connection. You are worthy of love and connection.